Hi! Thank you so much for tuning in to your Written in the Stars February 2017 Horoscope. I'm so excited to see you. If we haven't met before, my name is Madeline, and if you're back, I really appreciate it and thank you so much. As usual, I'll be doing two different readings for you during this video. Your Horoscope, which is a really overarching look at the whole story for the month, and then a really laser-focused spread to give you some action steps to take and a theme to sort of focus on to make the most of your month. Of course, it's going to be Valentine's Day, and February is for lovers. And Venus, the planet of love and beauty, has just entered Aries, so I'm expecting things to really heat up, and we may see some of that in your reading. But you can also tune into your first ever Written in the Stars video horoscope to see where she's lighting up your chart specifically. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope you will let me know what you think of these horoscopes. I would love, love, love to hear from you, and I hope that it provides you some great insight and empowerment for the month. Without further ado, on to your reading. Hey Aquarius, thank you so much for joining me for your February 2017 Horoscope. Let's see. Ooh, alrighty. Spirit is ready to talk to you. Let us see what is up for you in February 2017. Aquarius. Aquarius, February 2017. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising in February 2017. Aquarius, February. Lots of water bearing, makes sense to me. And Aquarius, you will see me turning down these cards that other readers might read as reversed, these upside down cards. You'll see me turn them right side up. Because I'm an intuitive reader, I do not see a card coming in upside down as an arbitrary muting of the energy or a reversal. I take what impressions and words that Spirit gives to me when I see the card, but of course they do tell me if there's like a perversion or a change in the original message, and I do definitely share that with you if that is the case. So I have gotten a couple questions and comments about that, so I thought I would just let you know. Okay, Aquarius, February 2017. One more for Aquarius, February 2017. Good, good, good. Okay. Okay, just make sure you can see everybody at your party. That's pretty okay. Okay. It's a real trick getting this camera close enough so you can see the pictures and like tight enough, but not too tight. Okay. Much like my pants after Christmas. Okay. So Aquarius, you definitely come into the month like, this month is kind of nothing to sneeze at in terms of work. You've got, and I don't want that to be like a negative or make you feel worried, because really I see this as like an incredibly productive and fruitful month, but you are feeling, even as the month opens right here, you're already feeling a little bit exhausted and overwhelmed. So I feel like some of you, it's like stuff that was not wrapped up in January has kind of bled over into February, and there's a little bit of like anxiety or a little bit of overwhelm. And Spirit is asking you to really hermit out, to really go within. Might be a little hard for you. Happy birthday, by the way, for many of you Aquarians, you February Aquarians. And it might be a little hard for you to hermit out when, you know, people are going to want to celebrate you. The sun is here for your solar return. You're so charismatic. You're a leader. People, in a way, can't understand why you wouldn't want to be a little bit more accessible and a little bit more out there in the public eye. But really, Aquarius, I'm feeling like as sociable and as globally minded as you are, there is something that you really want to create and do in February that requires just a little bit more reservation is the word that Spirit is using. So when they say reservation, what I'm hearing is like reserve more of your energy. It's not so much that you're just going to cut everybody off and like hide in your room with your notebook or your canvas, but not far from it. Like you are really feeling, I feel like a lot of you, that overwhelm or that anxiety is coming from a place of like, I feel the burn to make something. Something in my life needs to be different. Something in my life needs to expand, to light up, to change. Like, I'm not happy where I am. because there's this crossroads. And again, I want to emphasize, it's not like, oh, I'm desperately unhappy where I am, but where you are isn't exactly fulfilling. Where you are is feeling a little bit stagnant and a little bit like, wow, Spirit wants to say lame. So some of you have like a young or youthful spirit guide who is like, it just feels lame. It just feels like I'm held back, like I'm stuck, like I could move forward, but I'm just not. And the really beautiful thing about this card, for example, which when you first look at it looks fairly grim, right? I mean, she's kind of looks trapped and tied up and tied down. But the thing is, if you look closer, she's not tied down. And she's actually not even tied up. She's just tugging on her hair with like anxiety and worry. And she has this blindfold on and she's kneeling in the mud. And she has created, I mean, because who else would have done this? She's here with free hands. She has created this bit of fence, this blockade in front of her to keep other people out and to keep herself where she is. And why, Aquarius, when she clearly has the legs and arms to be able to move in this world, when she had the mental acuity to build such a thing, but she's afraid to break through a barrier of her own making. And Spirit is saying that that is true for you, Aquarius, that there's like a little bit of, you've kind of boxed yourself in a little bit, or you're being led by your fear, and that's not typical for you. And of course, these are general readings, Aquarius. So for some of you, some of these messages will resonate more than others. But for some of you Aquarians, there's definitely a sense in which you're kind of trapping yourself or holding yourself somewhere where you're not really that happy and you're really not feeling terribly fulfilled. And again, they're saying a little bit like stagnant, a little bit bored, a little bit like something really needs to change. And I feel like February does bring that beautiful change, because you have these cards of like difficulty and contemplation and fear, but you also have these cards for action and growth and opportunities. And here's the thing. Don't scatter your energies, Aquarius. This may be part of why Spirit is telling you that going on a little bit of a hermit strike, like a public strike, would be good for you, or is kind of being enforced for some of you. They're saying like some of you have been either sent somewhere, or there is some external circumstance happening that is preventing you from kind of being out among friends and out among people. And that, like, it might be forced upon you, but you would do very well to take advantage of that time and to kind of gather yourself and to kind of recalibrate, is what Spirit is saying, and get an idea of like, okay, well, here's where I am right now. What do I want now? If I know that I'm not happy, if I know that things feel stagnant, what would make me happy? And take a first step to make yourself happy. Take a first step out into the world and build something that makes you happy. I feel like, okay, so Aquarius, you are the sign of genius. You're the sign of inspiration. Uranus is your ruler, and that is the planet of like revolution and surprise and shock and like sudden evolution. And when you choose Aquarius, you are going to be able to do that spontaneous evolution. Like you are the X-Man of the zodiac. If there were superheroes for every character, every sign, you would definitely be an X-Man. You are able to, once you figure something out and ingest a piece of information, you can like process it and use it on a dime. Like nobody can incorporate inspiration like you and kind of turn it around and show it to the world again. And Spirit is saying that you want to narrow your focus. You want to not say, oh, well, how can I choose when there are these 7 things that I want to do? Well, okay, no, of course you can't choose that then, Aquarius. There won't be time for that. There won't be energy for all of that. But there would be time and energy for 2 things or 3 things. If you're trying to carry 7 different cups full of liquid, you're going to end up dropping all or most of them and spilling everything everywhere. But if you're carrying 2 or 3, that's a lot more of a manageable load. And it also gives a lot more, it leaves a lot more room for your emotional investment. If you're spreading your energy, again, out among 7 cups, you're going to have 7 almost empty cups. You really want to pour yourself into the things that matter to you and not scatter yourself, because that is what left you feeling kind of overwhelmed in January. So kind of pare down your to-do list. focus on the things that are really bringing you yields. So for some of you, that's your job and career. And it's like, okay, well, what's bringing you money? Which clients are bringing you money, or which tasks are bringing you money, and which are draining you of either money or energy? Because yes, they're talking about that for some of you, this is about money, and this is about, like, again, like they said, clients and tasks that are taking money from you or taking resources. But this doesn't have to be about money, because again, these are general readings, Aquarius. This could be like there are certain people who take up too much of your energy, like an unfair amount of bandwidth, and you need to kind of step back from them and draw a line and kind of start building something for yourself. You know, Aquarius, you get this reputation for being very cool, and you are. Like, and when I say cool, I mean in the sense of like aloof, a little bit above things, a little bit disconnected from the world in a way. But just as much as that is true, it is true that you have a very big heart, and that when you see something or someone who's being treated unfairly, or something is going terribly wrong, you want to be able to help out. You want to be able to invest. And Spirit says you're going to be able to do more of that when you really plant your roots and take care of them. So what does that mean? That means if you yourself are depleted and angry and exhausted and overwhelmed, you're not going to be able to do much for other people. But if you are rested and focused and excited about what lies ahead of you and what you are investing your energy and time into, the seeds that you're planting, and these seeds have wild potential, you're going to feel inspired. You're going to feel energized. You're going to feel able to give even more than you have in the past. So it's time to really like refill your own gas tank, Aquarius. It's time to refill your tank. And again, they're saying for some of you that's money, and for others of you that's money as well as energy. But it's definitely time for you to kind of, okay, if you're imagining that your aura was like a mile wide right now, I want you to focus and visualize on drawing that energy back into and around yourself in a much tighter circle. And again, I want to emphasize that's not about locking people out or not including people in your like sphere of empathy or sphere of love. It's more about, okay, I've kind of diffused my energy so much that I really need to bring it back in and concentrate it and really refill and kind of patch up the energetic holes. Now Spirit's getting really like intense, but it's like they're basically showing me your aura with some little tears in it and places where energy can leak out, and other people's energy honestly can get in, and you've got a little bit of a permeable bubble right now, and you don't want other people to be able to always get in, not willy-nilly, not without your permission, Aquarius. There are certain people and certain energies that you just don't want in your aura. You just don't want that energy to infect you. And you're going to do yourself a favor by, again, even just the simple visualization of drawing in and repairing your aura, like closing up any holes, noticing where it's gotten a little ragged and focusing some love and energy there and patching that up. The right kind of aura is going to allow in the good kind of energy and keep out the bad. Okay, so that's the focus. It's not about keeping everybody out. It's about keeping the good stuff in and keeping the bad stuff out. Okay, so Aquarius, you have this amazing vision and you really have the opportunity to take it somewhere in February. Spirit is saying it's not about taking it from 0 to 60, but you can definitely take it from 0 to 20. You can definitely take it past the beginning stages and into a place where it gets exciting, where it's past the drudgery of getting started and kind of slogging through the initial like brainstorm and thinking and all that. You can get to the inspiration and the payoff pretty damn quickly. And again, it's the initial stages, but it's there for you, Aquarius. So what is it that you're working on? What is it that you want to build for yourself? Whether it's something inside yourself, like I'm building new self-esteem, I'm building new self-worth, I'm building a new life because I left this marriage or this family. Or is it simply, I'm not happy where I was, but I don't want to leave the situation. I need to leave my emotional stagnation in the past and seek out the source. So here's what's really important about this card, Aquarius. I will not beat around the bush. This is a card of sadness. This is a card of disappointment, but it is also a card of new beginnings and of actually hope. Because this man, this figure in the card, He took his time to find these 8 cups, to polish them, to arrange them just so, to fill them with water and keep them just where he wanted them. But when you do that, when you try to keep something exactly the way it is, unchanged, and it is a living thing like water or a relationship or love or creativity, what you capture stagnates eventually, and it becomes toxic and poisonous for you to drink. So now has come the time, Aquarius, when you need to turn your back on something that you spent a lot of time and energy investing in, but it grew stagnant. It's time to turn around and go get yourself something new. He's walking away, and that is sad. But what is really important about this card is that he is walking toward the flowing, beautiful, clean source of all water, where he can replenish these cups with something fresh and gorgeous, and he can learn that if he doesn't drink them and use his cups and sip of what's in them and do exchange, you know, pouring in, pouring out, pouring in, pouring out, the water won't grow stagnant if it's moving. So share the waters, Aquarius. Get fresh waters and share them with others, and allow yourself to be in more of a flow and exchange with others. And that's by the end of February, because a lot of you, like I said, are going through this hermit phase, but you're going to discover that being closed off is not doing you all the favors that you really want. It's going to be useful for a time, and I definitely suggest that you all take advantage, especially those of you for whom this like isolation is kind of compulsory, like you had to do this or that, and that means you're separated from people. Definitely make use of that and get really meditative, or bring it, you know, like a journaling practice could be very beneficial. It's going to illuminate some things and really energize you. And there is a real chance for new opportunities, new money making coming in the end of February, which is really nice for you because, again, it's your birthday. So some gifts, some new energy is coming into your life. That Sun card is just like a fantastic, fantastic omen for things brightening up, getting clear, becoming easier in your life. Like someone has turned the lights on after they've been off for a while, Aquarius. So take your time, your quiet time, and then when you feel like you've done enough, when you feel like you have kind of replenished your cups, you want to come out strong like a leader, building your vision, creating something that is going to give you returns, whether those are financial returns or energetic returns, because it's out there for you when you really have a vision and an inspiration for it, and when you're willing to walk away from the crap that's not working. I really I'm noticing how low his head is and how his head is so high, and looking out toward the horizon, toward what's possible, not down at what he's lost. So it's okay to notice what you've lost and to mourn it and to take time to process it. But I swear, Aquarius, it's looking like you are going to feel so much better and excited for the future and for what you've planted and what is just beginning to happen by the end of February. And I know we're not even in March yet, honestly, Aquarius, but they're telling me that March is going to be fruitful. So something that really, really, if you can, plant something in February. Start the financial or the career stuff in February to see some really good returns by March, okay? Be humble, be devoted and hardworking and willing to learn, especially to learn new skills and information that you would need to be able to make this happen for yourself. So some of you, it's like, I want this other job, or I want to do this side hustle, and in order to do that, I need to learn how to do X, Y, Z. You can pick it up, Aquarius. Again, like Spirit said, there's nobody who can take information like you and then turn around and present it. Like you are a genius. No matter where you fall, no matter what your grades were in school, when it comes to something, Aquarius, you are a genius, okay? Trust me. Trust me, I'm an astrologer. Okay, so now we're going to do your Fiercely Focused spread, where we get a theme for your month and some really firm action steps, which I am a fan of. Ooh, practical steps. Okay. Wow, Aquarius. All right, you know what? Spirit definitely wants to talk to you this month, because all three of these guys flipped out, and I am not one to ignore what Spirit is asking me to look at here. So what a powerful collection of cards. The Devil flipped out first, followed by the Sun and the Fool, and you had the Sun in your previous reading. So this is like a powerful affirmation. that your life is getting lit up in February, and to come on the heels of the Devil and followed by the Fool is like so encouraging to me. Like if he had just given me the Devil, I would have been like, oh crap, man, you really are like carrying a lot this month, and you really are kind of locking yourself down. Which, yes, you are, Aquarius, let's not mince words. But so many of you, and again, these are general readings, Aquarius, so if you feel like any of this resonates with you and you have deeper questions or you want to know more, I would love to work with you one-on-one, and I have linked my shop below if you're interested in getting a more personal reading. But, okay, so general, but a lot of you are going to throw off this Devil in February. And the Devil is not Satan. Tarot is pre-Christian. What the Devil represents in the Tarot is our shadow aspect, the sides of us that we don't like to look at or acknowledge, like rage, depression, fear, lust, addiction, toxic relationships, dead-end jobs. It's just the kind of stuff that where we have pretty much taken on voluntary bondage. Like, okay, I'm going to tie myself up here and let myself be flogged even though I hate it. But to be followed by the Sun, which is clarity, and the opposite of the darkness of like the obscurity of the Devil, because he hides the truth in order to keep people under his sway. And the Sun is like, here's the truth. Here's how things really are. It's not what you think. You are not trapped. You are not bound by fear, by this relationship, by this job, by this situation. You are not bound. As a matter of fact, you are completely free, Aquarius. Like, I couldn't ask for a better prescription card to follow the Devil. Spirit is saying that the beautiful thing for you is it will be as simple as embracing your natural qualities, which is to be a rebel, which is to walk out in front of everybody naked and be like, what? This is what's up. This is who I am, and I fucking love it. And I'm proud of me. I love being an Aquarius, and I love having my, you know, my complete, like, rebel with a cause. I don't give a damn what you think. I don't give a damn by my reputation. That kind of thing. That's totally you, Aquarius, and that's totally the Fool. So embrace that. Free yourself. And that doesn't mean that you have to even leave the dead-end job or relationship. It means have the mental and emotional freedom of like, oh wait, I'm so much bigger than this. This doesn't hold me. I just got convinced of that for a while. Okay? Get out of that mindset, Aquarius. You have the strength. Okay, so now we're going to look at what's coming up for you, what action step you should take when it comes to the material stuff in your life, the physical and financial aspects. Wow. Okay, once again, same card, different deck. You had that Page of Pentacles when I was saying that it's time for you to acquire the skills that you need in order to do what you want to do. That is affirming it, okay? It's time to look at what excites you, and particularly for many of you, this is a money-making venture or a job or like a new career path that you want to pursue or side hustle. You definitely want to give that seed that you want to plant some love. Seeds do not grow and become orchards without love, attention, feeding, and watering. So, meaning, of course, this is not a literal seed. So by feeding and watering, I mean you need to give it attention. You need to give it room to grow. You need to foster this idea or this project or this initiative and help it to grow. It won't grow on its own, Aquarius, but it is a marvelous idea with great potential to bear fruit. And if you put in the action and the work, you can have it, okay? So learn those new skills, do your research, be humble, start from step 1 and work your way up, and then you can have it. Wow, okay. So, mentally, what's going on with you? Anxiety, a little bit of sleepless nights, a little bit of overwork and over-concern, and this is very typical of you, Aquarius, because you are an air sign. You're the mental realm. You're always in your head. You're always thinking and speaking. And this month I feel like you're feeling, again, a little bit isolated, a little bit hermity, and maybe a little bit like these thoughts are so oppressive and cyclical that you would feel silly sharing them with other people. But Spirit is saying, share your thoughts. You will dissipate the darkness by allowing someone else to come into the room and be with you while you're in this fear, okay? So, of course, I mean that metaphorically speaking, but I mean, what is it that you're afraid of? Share that. That giving it light and air is going to prove to you that it's just a nightmare. It's going to be like someone flipping on the lights when you were a little kid and you woke up paralyzed with fear from a dream, and that wonderful sensation of like, oh my God, it's not real. I really thought this was really happening to me, but I am not being eaten by this pack of lions or whatever it is. I'm fine. I'm actually right here in my bed. I can feel all my limbs. I'm okay. Share your fears. Don't believe them. Okay, Aquarius, that's the other thing, is don't believe them. That very much echoes the Eight of Swords that you had in your reading before, of like your fears are not based in reality. You are so clever, Aquarius, that you can even create fears for yourself that are more frightening than they are for the average person. You think yourself into a stupor. Okay, so now let's look at what is really lighting you up. What is either warming your heart or setting it on fire or filling you with passion, creativity, spirituality in February 2017. Okay. Okay, so that, again, wow, like, geez, Aquarius, Spirit is really hammering it home. You are, this is the same card, different deck as that first card in your first reading. You're exhausted, you're tired, you're feeling beaten up and tired of thinking about this, tired of fighting, tired of, like, stressing and working and striving. But Spirit is saying, take a moment, take a breath, and consider how strong you are. Consider the fact of how many people would not have gone as far as you have or been able to do as much as you have. And please recognize that, okay, the figure in this card, just like the one in your reading before, he is bandaged and he is beaten up and tired, and his face shows like how tired and sick of this he kind of is. And yet, every single battle he's been through, he has taken their weapon, their wand, and planted it behind him. A trophy for him to remember what he's capable of, and also a warning to other people who want to try to fuck with him. Like, look, here's all the motherfuckers I beat already. You want to go? So you can do it, Aquarius. That is the message from Spirit, is that as tired as you feel of striving and working, you can achieve something amazing this month. And really, it's not going to require all this anxiety and striving. It's actually supposed to come naturally and simply to you, a natural talent that you have to grow. So learning those few skills that you need to add to it, beyond the learning of the skills, things are going to get so much easier for you. Like, it doesn't need to be this hard. That's what Spirit is saying. Don't make it so hard on yourself, because you're putting all the burdens of your expectations, and you expect yourself to always be the best, Aquarius. And if you are anything less, you feel like shit. Okay? Don't. Don't feel like shit. Nobody got to where they are overnight. Nobody started out a beginner and the next day they were an expert. So invest in yourself. Invest in yourself and your comfort and your ease. And when you have peace of mind and a little more room to breathe, you're going to create something amazing. Okay, so let's look at what finally is going on with you emotionally in February. How are you relating? What are you feeling? What do you need to know, expect, or understand about your emotional state in February? Wonderful. Queen of Cups. Beautiful. Okay. So some of you Aquarians are extremely intuitive, and Spirit wants you, those of you who like really resonate with that, like, yes, I am intuitive. Yes, like I do have a sense of like what's coming and when, and like what people are thinking and feeling when I walk into the room. Trust that intuition. Use that intuition to your advantage. You do know people, Aquarius. And for some of you, this is a friend of yours. You have a friend who is uniquely intuitive and compassionate and maybe even very quiet, but when you do ask them their opinion on something, they can reflect the truth back to you with like uncanny, almost freaky accuracy. Because the Queen of Cups is like basically the witchiest witch. Like she may not even present as such. She may not like look like that kind of person. But boy, oh boy, like she can read cards, or she can read runes, or she can read charms. She can read you, and she can help you out, okay? So if you need to do an audit of your skills or of what's up with you, tune into this friend. And of course, tune into your own intuition as well, because it is very powerful, Aquarius. It's a transformative month for you, but there's a real opportunity for breakthrough and freedom, particularly I feel like from mental and like life patterns that are draining for you. So I see huge possibilities for like a new sense of peace of mind coming to you in February. It's just something that you will need to take the reins and say, I am actively not going to put my energy in the shit that makes me feel bad, and I'm going to actively put my energy into stuff that returns that energy and makes me feel nourished. Thank you so much, Aquarius. I hope if you have any questions about this, I would love to hear from you, either in the comments or you can find me on social media. I've linked all that stuff below, because I would love to hear what you thought. If anything resonated or if anything, you know, was kind of confusing for you, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. And Aquarians are some of my favorite people, so that's, you know, there's a motive in there too. But I hope this reading really helps you have a great month, and I hope you have an awesome March and that I see you then. Bye-bye, Aquarius.